We upheld our treaty with the people of Chantie's Roost for generations, and this is how they repay our kindness? We will not allow High Elf thieves to gain a foothold in our territorial waters. By all rights, this is our island. Harani's people occupy it with our blessing. If she breaks the treaty, so breaks our truce. We'll take back our island, and the Khajiit will pay the price. We keep a copy on an island far from here. I see no reason to send for it. I won't allow High Elf wharf-rats another chance to take our rightful lands. Why don't you bother Harani for her copy?
It's hard to keep track of the new faces since the hurricane, but I don't believe we've met. Welcome to Mistral. May your stay here be full of warm winds and soft sand. And I told him, the mere act of doing so would complicate matters with our longtime Maormer allies. They take great offense to the Dominion's claims upon our island. Look around you. What great armies do you see? Our survival depends on knowing when to fight and when to please. The treaty brought us prosperity for generations. I will not be the one to break it.
Come and see from the distant shores of Glanumbra a real, live dog!
Who's got a drink for me? You?
Do not worry, it is safely caged. Dahara would not let it tear the flesh from your bones.
Hey! Grab a drink!
Marvel at its slavering maw.
Help me.
I just need a coin
I'm
or two.
desperate.
Be disgusted by its cold, oozing nose. In Daggerfall,
prosperity,
packs of these horrible
for
monsters
security,
roam the streets
for
at night
unity,
and prey upon the
for
unwary.
the Dominion.
I bring an urgent message from Rhea Opacarius, Chief Oracle of the Twilight Queen Azura. Best discuss that with Rhea. Too many eyes and ears here. She awaits you in the Cloudy Dregs Inn in Wayrest.
My
In
own
these
father,
Roost
divine
and the
Save Soul,
Dominion.
was torn
Together,
to pieces
we'll
by just
achieve
such a
unity.
pack.
Come, do your trading here.
Can you not feel the hatred that burns within its belly? Bars barely contain its hunger.
Any luck securing a copy of the treaty? Then there's little chance for compromise. I'll call a break in formal talks until everyone calms their nerves. You understand the stakes, yes? It's why I ask you to take a more active role in locating the treaty. I don't do so lightly. I can't allow the Dominion's first act on Chantie's Roost to be one of conquest. I understand our mutual friend prefers the rum served at a nearby tavern. Perhaps he would have ideas on securing a copy of the treaty. It's a name, a title, and our holy city. Quite an honor to carry around such an important word, and the occasional burden in its confusion of outsiders. Not even the Green Lady calls me by my given name. Edelorn doesn't roll off the tongue, I suppose. As Sylvanar, Seems like it's been such a short while, but the wrinkles on my face tell me differently. Or did you mean as Dominion envoy? I've taken on diplomatic tasks for our fledgling alliance since its inception, so not very long at all. A freshly grown fruit, still without blemish. On behalf of the Bosma people, it's my goal to keep it that way. If you speak with the Green Lady, don't mistake her manner as distaste for the Dominion. She simply misses our home of Valenwood. She sustains me, and I her. Together, we are the aspirations of the Bosma people given form. Put simply, she is the love of my life. Also, she grows ill-humoured when I gush about her within earshot. I'd best say no more.
I wish I was off adventuring.
What do they think they are playing at? We paid them, yes?
Who knows? Maybe they got caught? It wouldn't be the first time.
don't care to sail through corpses, but if I dock at Mistral, they'll inspect my cargo. Which is all legitimate, I assure you. Where do you need to go? I can take you to Vulkelgard. Bah, all my business here has dried up. At least I won't have trouble with the inspectors in Oredon. Which rarely happens.
There you are. Do not panic. Only you can see me. Come, we have to talk. There you are, Vestige. We must speak at once. Listen well. I have located a safe harbor from which we might plan our course of action. You must meet me there. I awoke upon a sandy shore, a stretch of beach, outside a bustling city of elves, Vulkelgard. The harborage is in a seaside cave, outside the city. It is there that you will find me.
The inspector checked my cargo already. There were no problems.
You there? Looking for me? You hear about the contract. Investigating the Grey Host is like trying to wrestle an angry spirit. Anyway, the Raven Watch could certainly use the help. And by Raven Watch, I mean me. The Raven Watch is dedicated to curtailing the activities of unscrupulous vampires, and the Grey Host is as unscrupulous as they come. Someone is rebuilding the ancient army of vampires and werewolves that ravaged the First Era. We need to stop them. Hey, I was doing stuff before you showed up. Look, some vampires and werewolves have formed a new Grey Host. One of their original ruling counselors may be leading them, and they seem to be experimenting with life energy. Will you help me? Everything I learned up to now points in the same direction. Bankerai Garrison. There's a scholar named Lorette Deal there who may be able to tell us more about the Grey Host and how they were defeated. Cart's over there when you're ready to go. My research has uncovered pieces, but I hope the scholars at the Bankerai Garrison can put the puzzle together. Members of the Grey Host experimented with life energy, and at least one of their leaders survived their defeat in the ancient past. My research indicates a council ruled the Grey Host. One of those leaders fell out of favor and another survived the final battle. A Durrani noble with connections to Viridian Watch gave the survivor sanctuary. In return, they made her a vampire. In the ancient past, the Grey Host sought to use life energy to draw souls into containment vessels called stone husks. It had something to do with returning the dead to life. I think there's a new Grey Host, and they've revived those experiments. Probably, but nothing that can't wait. Let's take the cart to the Bankerai garrison and find the scholars who can tell us more about the history of the Grey Host. I suppose you wouldn't have heard of us. We are a bit secretive. Now's probably a good time to tell you. I'm a vampire. All members of House Ravenwatch are. We hunt bad vampires, and also deal with the occasional misbehaving werewolf. Not nearly enough, and we're stretched pretty thin. Investigating this on my own didn't seem prudent, so I requested aid, and now here you are, offering it. I'm touched. I'm hoping a scholar of ancient Bankerai battles named Lorette Deal or one of her colleagues can tell us more about the Grey Host. With any luck, they have information about the Grey Host that's not too outlandish. The priests have this old holy text that claims St. Pelin leapt off the garrison's walls, landed among the host, asked Stendar for endless blood, and then fed them all without dying. Then the garrison dropped some rocks on them. See? Outlandish. Exactly. We need practical facts about how the Grey Host was defeated at Bankerai Garrison. Hopefully Scholar Deal can provide them. Well, this isn't at all what I expected. What happened here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you here for a tour? I'm afraid they've all been suspended until this mess with the Imperial Army is resolved. If I could offer a suggestion, turn around and head for the safety of Evermore's walls. As you can plainly see, now is not a good time. My fellow scholars and I fled when Septima Tharn and her Daedra-worshipping zealots attacked. We barely got out before the first impacts from their ballistae shook the walls. Occupying the walls. And they didn't just attack the garrison, they conquered it. The knights keep saying the Lion Guard will come. That will push the invaders out in less time than it takes to brew a cup of tea. But that hasn't happened yet. I'm sorry. Concern for my colleagues and the Pyre Watch warrior who accompanied them has my thoughts in a jumble. Come to think of it, the Pyre Watch are experts on the Grey Host. Find my friends, and I'm sure the warrior will answer your questions. They're guardians sworn to watch over a Grey Host burial site located here in Bankerai. One of their warriors was here recruiting when the garrison came under attack. She went to protect my colleagues, but no one's returned. Can you go find them? Cogleen and Indus fled in the direction of Evermore with the Pyre Watch warrior, while Jannard headed toward Kerbal's Hollow. Please be careful. The wilderness can be treacherous between here and there. Even if my mind wasn't clouded with worry, I'm an expert on the Second Era. My First Era knowledge is extremely limited. The Pyre Watch knows more about the Grey Host than anyone. Find her and my friends, and she'll provide the answers you seek. Thank you, friend. When you return with the scholars safely in tow, we should be able to put our collective heads together and dredge up that ancient history. That is, if the Pyre Watch warrior hasn't already satisfied your curiosity.
This scholar's research doesn't go back to the First Era. And the other scholars fled? That puts a wrinkle in our plans, all right. This Pyre Watch warrior is a promising lead, though. Let's go find her and the other scholars. I heard. Let's split up and go after them. All take Kerbal's Hollow. You head toward Evermore. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Yeah, my brother Fenorian told me about one he encountered. They're the guardians of an ancient mass grave where the remains of the Grey Host are said to be interred. probably knows more than the scholars. Find them and meet me back here. Find the scholars, but try not to get eaten by anything.
You there. Come. You don't look like a refugee. Are you a soldier from the garrison? What news of the Imperial attack? Oh, that's wonderful news. Cogleen and I intended to head straight for Evermore. But the cursed Imperials caught up with us. They would have captured us if not for that Pyre Watch warrior. Have you seen her? Is she alive? She was, but we ran into Imperials. The Pyre Watch warrior distracted the soldiers and ordered me to flee. Then she took Cogleen and headed west. Please, find them. I worry for their safety. I will go to Scarlet camp now. We are most fortunate you came to our aid. Other than the fact that they were defeated here centuries ago, not much, I'm afraid. I can tell you Empress Hestra's legions came to the aid of Bankarai garrison. That's why High Rock became part of the Alessian Empire for a time. Alas, you seek facts and figures that I don't have readily at hand. Perhaps when I can retrieve my papers from inside the garrison? You know, the Pyre Watch warrior might be able to help you. They're experts on the Grey hosts of the First Era.
So many dead. So many wounded. Those Imperials may not wear animal skins, but at heart, they're as bad as the Reachmen.
I will return to Scarlet camp. May Tall Papa guide your steps.
What do John and Jod send us now? What does Crazy Eye see here? Another shave skin? Good. These Knights of St. Pellen need all the help they can get. Crazy Eye and the other Bandari have done all they can. Maybe it's your turn to help now. Are you living in a dog's den? Imperial skirmishers have been raiding this camp, stealing the Knight's supplies. This one and friends were just passing through, but the Bandari help when they can. Like Crazy Eye doesn't have anything better to do. Ah! If the Knights appreciated the Bandari, they'd fatten this one's purse. Crazy Eye doesn't like to work for free, do you? Or maybe since you're not Bandari, they'll pay you. If you want to help, see the Knight Commander Sherilyn. Tell the Knight Commander you want to help stop the Imperial raids. Tell her Crazy Eye sent you too. Tell her this one deserves a little present. Or several presents. Several shiny presents. Yes, 3 times in recent days. Crazy Eye was only here for the last raid, but she saw them coming. Even put an arrow between a few pairs of eyes. They still manage to steal more supplies, though, yes? Very tricky are these unclawed skeevers. No one knows. Crazy Eye surely doesn't. This one's heard rumors of Imperials attacking cities in southern Bankorai. But this is too far north, no? Maybe they're trying to attack supply lines to the garrison. For the present. If things get too dirty, though, Crazy Eye will save her own hide. This one and other Bandari are not mercenaries. We're traders. No! So unfair, too. Crazy Eye's been guarding this gate for hours and hours when she could be back in her tent taking a cozy little nap. You should tell the Knight Captain. Tell her to give us something! Here at the Martyr's Crossing, important trade routes run through here between North and South Bankorai, yes? And supply lines from Evermore to Bankorai Garrison. This one was told that the Knights of St. Pelin have always guarded this place.
I can't do my job. Not with all this... I know there's a war afoot and all that, but there's a problem here at the graveyard. The corpses are climbing out of their graves. I promise, this isn't my fault. I buried them all real good. No, I don't know nothing. I was just bringing Prince Adrian in here to lay him to rest in the royal crypt. But when these walking bones started popping up, I ran for it. I just left the prince's corpse laying out. But what was I supposed to do? It's up there a ways. Outside the royal crypt. One of the prince's knights stayed there to protect him. She can be noble if she wants, but I'd rather be alive. I do feel bad, though. That's why I was thinking maybe if I could find someone to help her. If you could find a way to get all those corpses back in the ground while you're up there, I sure would appreciate that. I can't make a living if I can't get into the graveyard. Died in a battle with the Reachmen. Right there, with King Aemond. You have to feel for the queen. First she loses her daughter, then her husband. And her son. Prince Adrian deserves a proper burial. Just maybe after the graveyard's safe again.
here!
over here! You're the first thing I've seen that isn't an undead monstrosity. Oh, lovely. Are you with the garrison? Please, tell me you're here to rescue me. Oh, thanks, Stendar. I thought I could make it to Evermore, but I tired myself out. When I tried to pass through the old graveyard, I ran into unspeakable horrors. Thought I was finished. I'll head back now. Oh, say, did you find that Pyre Watch warrior? When the Imperials came after us, she managed to distract them and ordered me to run to the graveyard. I think she headed for the Crypt of the Exiles. Oh, I hope she found shelter within. We owe her our lives. Please, will you go check on her? I'll find Scholar Deal's camp straight away. I am in your debt. If I can do anything to aid you, all you have to do is ask. The army of monsters that ravaged the First Era? Not really my area of expertise. I study the historical accounts of Warlord Thulgreg's army of orcs and goblins. The garrison held strong and denied them passage. Not one got through. Truly inspiring. Well, most scholars agree that the fanciful legend about the Grey Host's defeat is, pardon my orcish, guardung. You know, the Pyre Watch are sort of Grey Host experts. Find her and I'm sure she can provide the answers you seek. I'll hurry back to Scholar Deal's camp. Be safe.
was the thief?
I don't suppose you're here to pay your respects to the Blacklight Raiders, are you? A notorious band of treasure hunters from the First Era. They went all over Morrowind, looting and pillaging, stealing our people's most sacred relics. I studied them, and tracked down a lockbox holding their greatest treasure. But I can't open it. Because the Fool's password is a combination of letters from the Raiders' names and professions. Totally forgotten now. All 4 Raiders are buried here, but the gravestones are worn. I found a few clues. I have coin if you can figure this out. It sounds archaic, but the Blacklight Raiders were well-rounded. Warrior, cleric, thief, and mage. The mage wrote a letter to one of the others telling how to open the lockbox. Between the letter and the gravestones, I hope we can solve it. Yes, that's all we have to go on. What we need to figure out is what each of the Blacklight Raiders' names was, and whether they were the fighter, the mage, the thief, or the cleric. Look at the letter. I only know so much. They started out as just a small band of adventurers from High Rock, exploring old barrows and caves, killing bandits and monsters, that sort of thing. Over time, though, they became notorious, especially in Morrowind. I come from a village outside Blacklight. My grandfather always told me stories about the raiders who stole our family's heirlooms. Years later, I heard about this lockbox the raiders had left behind. I tracked it down, and it led me here.
I haven't much longer.
I hope you're getting more insight into this than me. Every time I think I have it all sorted out, I realize something doesn't make sense. Do you think you know what each of the raiders' names and professions were? We'll see. I've got some of it pieced together. If you can fill in the gaps, I'll be impressed. If you're ready, I'll ask you my outstanding questions. All right. First, I need to know about Joelle. I know she was the warrior, but what was her last name? I hope you're getting more insight. We'll see. All right. First, I need to know about Joelle. I know she was the warrior, but what was her last name? That might make sense. If that's correct, though, what was Olivia's profession? All right. If that's true, then what was Willem's last name and profession? I hope you're getting more insight into this. All right. First, I need to know about Joelle. I know she was the warrior, but what was her last name?
hope you'll forgive me for making assumptions, but... well, you look like someone who knows how to fight. I mean, if not, then you certainly fooled me. If you do know how to fight, well then, we could really use your help. Defending the city. If you're going to be sticking around, you're probably going to be defending yourself one way or another. If you're willing, though, Sergeant Chantienyee asked me to send any tough-looking types his way. He's at the West Gate.
I hope you're getting more insight into... we'll see. All right. First, I need to know about Joelle. I know she was the warrior, but what was her last name? That might make sense. If that's correct, though, what was Olivia's profession? I hope you're getting more insight. All right. First, I need to know about... that might make sense. If that's correct, though, what was Olivia's profession? All right. If that's true, then what was Willem's last name and profession? All right. Let's see if all your answers add up. All that matters is whether I can... Ah, yes! It seems Willem had quite a sense of humor. No gold, no relics, just a silly old blade. I'm sorry, but I was counting on something of value. I can't pay you much now. I don't shave, though, so I guess I'll sell the blade. Maybe I can get something for it.
As part of the Dominion, you will gain security.
Over the seas and over the lake.
For 5 gold, gaze into its eyes. Peer the Dominion.
You think this one drinks on the job? Good. Then so will everyone else. What is the word, my new friend? Ulandil certainly won. His viper tongue is sharp. But Harani can't because her copy was stolen. It only takes 3 drinks to loosen the tongue of the Chancery clerk, if you were curious. A good question. Raz answers it with an interesting bit of trivia. Ulandil posted a guard at his quarters the day of the theft. His subtlety is rivaled only by his pleasant personality. Oh, And it's 5 drinks for embassy staff. 6 puts them out. Someone needs to slip into Marmor Embassy, find a way past the guard, and rifle through Ulandil's private quarters. Oh, and do it without bloodshed that could provoke war with the Marmor. In case he was not clear, Raz is talking about you. The pragmatist in this one says it's because you have no firm connection to the Dominion. The optimist says it's because you have proven yourself more than capable already. When you have the treaty, meet both of us at the bridge.
Move along.
Joining the Dominion isn't about what is taken from you, but what we gain from each other.
Don't cause trouble.
When the storm comes, they'll get theirs.
When the storm comes, they'll get theirs. Everything is off limits. You aren't getting through. Are you lost? Ambassador Ulandil's quarters aren't none of your business. Go bother None of your business.
Ambassador Ulandil isn't here. And if he was, that's what I've been wondering. He spices his rum with moon sugar, you know. I'm sure one of the servants brings it to him. If I catch him...
Everything is so... still.
Floors that don't sway, sand that creeps into boots, bugs the size of anchors. May the gods see me posted to a proper ship.
So, he's actually doing his job? Most of the time he's writing love letters.
How much longer till we put out to sea?
When the storm comes, they'll get theirs.
Are you lost? Do you think I take drinks from strangers? Oh, I guess that little barnacle is all right. When the storm comes, they'll get theirs. Everything is so... still. What's your step, Groundwalker?
Everything is so...
The spring in your step. Did you know a sense of accomplishment can alter one's stride? You'll learn to notice it in others. The Sylvanar is certainly being watched by the Maumar. You should inform him the treaty is safe. He will know what to do next. The Sylvanar and the Green Lady are being put up in the Armorer's home. This one recommends you knock before entering. Green Lady gets jumpy at silent approach. At a quick glance, there are holes in the treaty. When the Sylvanar worries at them, he'll tear a hole in the Maumar side. The treaty, of course. Not Ambassador Ulandil, though that would be funny.
Both of you calm down.
I don't know. Sometimes. We have an old goal.
Still nothing.
At. We paid them,
Time
yes?
for you to leave.
Who knows?
No!
Maybe they got
No!
caught? It wouldn't be the first time. Grimes, if they don't make the drop soon, let's cut our losses and make for the mainland.
You found him like this? What did you see? Answer me! Then you know nothing. 1,000 curses on this wretched island. They've taken my beloved. None who'll survive the day. I am the unerring bolt. Once loosed, I cannot stop till I pierce my quarry's eye. Harani knows her own city. If she won't tell you who did this, I'll shorten her tail until she does. Now go! Go!
I have many fine goods.
Will this work never end?
Not again. Please. I understand what the Sylvanar desires, but I already told you. We cannot provide him with our copy of the treaty. Did. But he was just here. What happened? How awful. Who would harm such a peaceful creature? My guards saw nothing. We doubled the watch to ensure safety. I cannot abide the Sylvanar's murder in my town. I'll shut down the port if I have to. None sets sail until his killer is brought to justice. Of course. I hereby declare you a deputy of the Mistral Guard. No door shall be barred to you. On my desk, you will find the most recent reports from the Mistral Guard. You are welcome to review them for any inconsistencies that could lead to the killer's capture.
The Sylvanar murdered? These treacherous Khajiit have plotted with the Maumar to slay our noble envoy.
How dare you! The Sylvanar was our guest. You go too far, Vice-Reeve.
Outrageous! More Dominion treachery. I will conduct my own investigation.
No sea rat will show me up. I'll get to the bottom of this myself.
No one here. Perfect. As good a place as any. If that clerk has any sense, he'll find it.
Get off my ship before I throw you off! And I need a new rigging and a serving wench. Too bad for us both. Now get off! Why didn't you say so? You're a deputy of the guard? The same guard whose authority ends where my ship begins? On the dock or in the water, your choice. Oh, that's a serving wench. 3 minutes. If my sailors see your hand...
Another one?
Don't cause trouble. What's your step, Groundwalker?
Another one? Watch your step, Groundwalker.
Don't cause trouble.
Killing the Sylvanar was foolish. The Green Lady and the Sylvanar shared a life bond. She has little time to avenge him before she too will die, and the Green Lady is a most dangerous creature. But then, you have that spring in your stride again. What have you learned? The Maumar planned something, but what? Wait. The apothecary sold Daedra blood in these specific amounts? That would explain the strange liquid upon the... Oh no. Bright moons, no. This is a sample of the vile cloud from around the Sylvanar's body. Bring it to the Green Lady. Tell her it killed her beloved. As for the rest, Harani will see what you found. We must move like Chantienyee herself is at our backs.
Step up!
The killer will share the pain my beloved's death has wrought. Hand down the throat, a kiss for my wrist. Hand on the lungs, a kiss for my arms. Grasp, tear, yank, and one last kiss for the killer's own heart. Now, what have you found? No poison in all of Tamriel could harm my beloved. But this scent was on his body. Why is it out here as well? I can see it, leading away into the heart of this wretched city. You're blind to it, easily remedied. Follow if you can.
Marvel at its slavering maw.
Covered my tracks. Couldn't have found me. I followed his orders. Daedric poison for the wood elf and his mate. I followed his orders. Ulandil, he said they could stop the Tempest. Had to be removed.
I've heard enough.
His orders. Had to follow his orders.
You did what you had to. As did I.
Ah, the errant deputy. I was just informing headwoman Harani of her apothecary's connections to the High Elves of Somerset Isle. Once the torture begins, we'll learn why the Dominion killed their own diplomat. My what? You mean the apothecary? I assure you, he was never in my employ. Oh, well done. It doesn't matter now. The Green Lummox and her idiot husband lie dead. There's nothing you can do to stop us. You're lying. She must be dead, or else she'd have come for me. She's coming for me, isn't she? I'm a duly appointed ambassador of the Maumar people. The grounds of the embassy are sacrosanct, according to our treaty. The tempest is coming. You cannot stop it.
This is madness. There has been enough death in this city.
And soon, his heart.
Stop! All of you! This madness ends now!
Move, unless you don't mind the spatter.
I'll keep him alive for a time. He won't starve. His limbs have so much flesh to sustain him. Go tell Harani the Marama is dead. Leave me to my work. Go. This is a private matter.
No! God's mercy! Stay back!
The gods can't hear you. Scream louder! That's it. Again!
Where is former Ambassador Ulandil? Another honored enemy we must send to the Temple of the Morning Springs. Too many today. No matter. Before he fled to the embassy, Ulandil mentioned something about a tempest. Did he say anything about this before he died? I fear we'll learn soon enough. What a nightmare. I hope all dealings with our Dominion allies won't end this way. I signed a new treaty with Vicereeve Peladil moments ago. He assured me the Dominion will defend our little island from any reprisals, Maamor or otherwise. Kenarthi's roost will see much change to come. We must grow together, or we shall die apart.
Hey, Slowpaws!
There's nothing more dull than a petty criminal.
You! Yes, you! Commander Karanet needs you immediately. The Malmer attacked Cat's Eye Key from the sea. Commander Karanet holds the line at the docks. She needs help stopping the Malmer before they push into Mistral. Zaire will find more to help. Be swift, Slowpaws.
So where are we going?
I'm
We
thirsty.
can't.
Let's find the inn.
I see the delight in your eyes.
No, when?
Ha, of course you don't remember. You're in your sixth flagon of brandy.
6? That seems low.
This was after 3 grams of white eye and a flagon of moon sugar double. You're lucky to be alive.
I forgot. They mix brews with moon sugar.
Yes, and in most Khajiiti ports. Now, let's think of a way out of this mess, shall we?
I see the delight.
You there. The Marmor attacked Cat's Eye Key with their Sea Viper forces. We need every able body for the rescue effort. Huh. A counterattack? I'd settle for an organized defense. Our forces are scattered too thin. If we can't hold the gates, Mistral will fall to the Marmor. I'll coordinate Dominion forces from here, but I can't lock down this gate until the survivors clear out of the market. Send them my way. We need everyone able to defend Mistral on this side of the wall.
Snakes.
Those Malma pirates came from the water. They're all over Cat's Eye Key. Sea vipers happened. One must have struck me on the head.
When I woke, a sea viper was carving strange runes on my bodyguard's skin. I hit that awful pirate with a broken spar and we ran. No, we can still move. We'll head to Mistral if it's safe there. By the 8, it's inspiring to see Dominion soldiers. Maybe Sergeant Firion can pull off our counterattack. The Marine by the gate to Cat's Eye Key plans to strike back at the Sea Vipers. I'm sure she can tell you the details. We'll get moving. Gods grant you strength.
We can't let those Maramar pirates reach Mistral. They'll butcher our families. I saw great serpents emerge from the waters. Those sea viper cowards made them snap at everyone in striking distance. No. When I saw my neighbors fall, I ran. What kind of Khajiit am I? You were with Dominion, yes? Your Sergeant Firion plans to strike back. Give those pirate cowards a trouncing. I'll do no such thing. If any of those sea vipers shows a face on this side of the gate, I'll claw it off myself.
What are you doing here? It doesn't matter. If you're in the mood to cave in some sea viper skulls, I don't really care. You feel that cold air rushing off the sea? Just like it was before the hurricane. We can't wait to cut off the snake's head. We are the Dominion counterattack. I sent my squad to scout Cat's Eye Key. If they haven't learned what the Sea Viper's plan, we can poke around until we figure out what needs chopping. Don't worry, your wizard friend can seal the gate behind us. I'll hold the gate, if you think you'll have need for a wizard. Or you could bring a Dominion Marine. Up to you. Then let's fillet these fish elf bastards. We should check the houses, or secluded areas with good visibility of the key.
Hey, squad got separated. Nistel and I found Onglorn. They hurt him bad. Sea vipers carved runes in his chest. I grabbed him. Nistel held them off. Hunting sea vipers. If you see her, tell her Onglorn will be all right.
You've done your part. Get back to Mistral when you can. Oh, Nistel.
a ringing head is bad. But when it remains somewhat head-shaped, that is good, yes? I was in the caves, working, when I heard a strange howling. Then warriors came out of nowhere and struck without mercy. Sea vipers, Maormer pirates. We paid protection through the month and let them put those strange totems in our cave. They've never been in the skooma trade. I meant moon sugar. Hit my head, you see. Our deaths, I suppose? After they killed enough of us, they left the rest of us alone. They knew we wouldn't fight back. They only paid attention to those totems. Well, until they collapsed the cave entrance. Some high elf wizard tried to get in, so they collapsed it. I dove outside. Lucky me. The wizard tried to tell me something, but I couldn't hear him at all. He stuffed this paper in my hands and walked off. Here, maybe you can make sense of it. What's that? My ears were ringing. Would you mind repeating the obvious? Wait, don't think me ungrateful. The wizard was looking for another way into the caves. I heard rumors of a secret door by the cliffs, but I never saw it myself.
Seem to harness a combination of wind and spirit. I wonder if I can... Excuse me, do you mind? Indeed. I suppose that's optimal. These sea viper rituals are barbaric, but quite effective. The hurricane they summoned to dash our fleet against Chantieny's roost? That's nothing compared to their current efforts. You clearly haven't studied the fundamentals of blood sacrifice. You see, these serpent-shaped statues, they're storm totems. They collect spirit energies from rune-marked subjects and channel it, like water through a funnel. Exactly the right question. It seems the sea vipers use a specialized lodestone to block the channel. Approach an active storm totem, hold forth the lodestone, and harmlessly siphon the energy away. You should see for yourself. Completely. Go ahead, don't be shy. It's not as though the storm totem's energies will cascade throughout your body until you're nothing but a lifeless, smoking husk. But do avoid standing in the puddles, would you?
As much as I hate to say it, the wizard knows what he's talking about. Maybe he knows how to stop the sea vipers.
Phenomenal. I knew proximity was the key. And look at you, not even a hint of electrocution. You have the principle. Now to apply it to the other storm totems before... well, best not to worry about that. No, I really shouldn't worry you. I can't say for certain. It's one of two things, neither of which is good for anyone on this island. You don't stoop to blood sacrifice unless you need a lot of energy very quickly. And, well, to release it, just as quickly. Listen, you handle the storm totems. I'll determine how to best counteract the Sea Viper blood ritual without destroying Mistral. Does that seem equitable? The only certainty is the lack of time. You should hurry.
This is Ilse, speaking directly to your mind. Find my Psijic projection near the tunnel exit. I know how to stop the Marma.
Did you hear that? It's like the wizard spoke directly to my mind. Did you hear that?
I know what they're planning. Through my Psijic projection, I observed an old ritual site north of Mistral. The Sea Vipers summoned a powerful creature known as a Storm Atronach. They're funneling all that energy into their bound Storm Slave. The creature can only hold so much energy before it discorporates. All the energy will wash over Canarthi's roost, killing anything it touches. Except for the thunderbugs, of course. Oh, and the mountain north of Mistral will shatter, leaving no trace of the town. Ha! There's the genius of their plan. How do you bind a creature made of storm energies? With the wind itself. 3 ritual horns trap Storm Slave, but the lodestone now has enough storm energy to counteract the false winds. Elegant, yes? It will shed its corporeal form and safely release its stored energy. By safely, I mean in relation to Canarthi's roost. I recommend moving a fair distance away from Storm Slave when this happens. Perhaps keeping solid rock between it and yourself? You'll have no trouble. But in the event you do, I've opened a portal at a distance of 1 league from Canarthi's roost. There I'll tread water in the open sea until I've observed your success. Merely a precaution. I have every confidence.
I wish Nistel could have seen that thing.
children of the sea! Your bonds cannot hold the Tempest!
Come! You must leave this place! Follow me! My friend, to escape death so triumphantly is constant thrill, yes? Not so thrilling for the Maumar, of course. The Maumar are fled or dead thanks to your efforts. Kenarthi's roost is safe and voluntarily a part of the Aldmeri Dominion. So if you must know, Razumdar keeps an eye on promising people. My friend, the Maumar are... If Raz had known you would do so well, he would have scrounged you a nicer reward. Apologies. The Mistral Armory is not what it once was. The Maumar are like drunken uncle. Chase them off, and they always come back. Next time, Kenarthi will be waiting for them. Problem is, there are places that will not be so prepared. If the Vipers are here in numbers strong enough to assault Kenarthi, all of the southern seas are in danger. The Queen is in Oridon right now, beginning a royal visit. Raz would ask you to head to Volkelgard and report to Watch Captain Astanya. Astanya can pass word to Her Majesty. Perhaps you can catch a ride on the Prowler. Raz her Jimila plans to set sail. He suspects she may owe you a favor. Of course. After all you have done for us here, it would be rude of Raz to say no. Astanya's the lovely watch captain of the Volkelgard Watch. Raz has shared more than one drink with the captain, and more than one fight. She's getting a bit grouchy now that she's tied to one port, but she should set you aright. This one is a simple Khajiit, like he said when we first met. He resolves issues as they come up. He acts in the best interest of the Dominion and the Queen. Oh, Raz would not be surprised. You have already proven yourself a competent sword. Simple Khajiit like this one have a tendency to need competent people like you. Very tall elves and very pretty shores. Oridon is the most worldly part of the Somerset Isles, and still many of the High Elves consider it a sanctuary away from the rest of the world. This one thinks they are kidding themselves.
What do you think happened? Maybe we should invest in some lightning rods.
Cat's Eye Key. Would you listen to these bumpkins? Who says key?
Is that so?
So much to do, so little time. No, when?
Ha, of course you don't remember. You were in the 6th flagon of plum brandy.
That seems low.
This was after 3 grams of white eye and a flagon of moon sugar double. You're lucky to be alive.
I forgot. They mix brews with moon sugar here.
Yes, and in most Khajiit ports. Now, let's think of a way out of this mess, shall we? I see that